Hey y'all, it's Day or De La Soul, and I'm back today with another chit chat video. If you haven't seen my first Q&A, go ahead, click right here and watch that, because this is a follow-up to that video. In that video, I mentioned that I am single and I date, and when I date multiple people. And that just sparked a conversation about like double standards, how men are allowed to date multiple people, and there's like nobody thinks nothing of it. But when women say they date multiple people, people are like, oh, she's a hoe, she's this. They automatically assume she's having sex with everybody, or she's a gold digger or opportunist, whatever the case may be. So there were also questions about like other things that I'm gonna address, but this is what that video is. This is what this video is. It's a follow-up to that video. So if you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it, and stay tuned, because I'm gonna go ahead and get into this chit chat about being a single black female in 2019 and dating. So I actually posted the subject on my Instagram, and I think I posted it on YouTube, and I kind of pulled different things to cover based off what you guys were saying to me. So just gonna start off, first thing was, let's talk about like dating versus talking versus in a relationship. And I don't have all the answers, y'all. I'm still single, so clearly I ain't got all the answers. First of all, dating, talking, relationships. So talking, to me, talking is just like talking. Like, that's it. We ain't doing shit. We just talking. Like, we don't go on dates. We just communicate. We text. That's it. Or we DM. Like, that's talking. Dating, to me, is somebody that I see not on like a consistent basis, but like, well, then there's like spectrums of dating as well. But dating to me is somebody that I'm not only having conversations with, but I'm actually spending like time out of my day to go do things with that person. And then as far as a relationship to me is just when you're exclusive, y'all have established a title. So that's the difference between talking, dating, and being in a relationship to me. So I'm at that dating phase with multiple people. I talk to a lot of guys, but I'm dating like multiple people. Like, I'm dedicating time out of my life to spend time with multiple guys. And for me, dating, the actual dating is easy, and I think it's just because, one, I started being more of like a social and outgoing person when I started doing social media and being an influencer and going to events and stuff. It used to be like I hated meeting new people and I don't like being around new people. So if you're an introvert and you're trying to date, I can completely understand how it's difficult. And my suggestion is to you is to challenge yourself to get out of your shell. So that means like not even just with men, but with everybody. Like, start going out more with your friends. When you're sitting on the elevator, spark a conversation. I talk to people on the hair aisle all the time. We spark conversations. Like, if I see somebody looking, I'm like, oh, I tried that. It was this, that, and the third. Like, just make efforts to start talking to people, and it'll trickle over into how you deal with men. As far as me dating multiple men, the reason why I started doing that is because, one, I realized guys do it, and I used to think it was taboo, but it's really not taboo. I feel like that's normal. When you're dating and you're courting, you don't have a commitment to anybody. Why are you sitting there dedicating all your time to one person who you may or may not be with, who may or may not be talking to 10 other females? And we all have been in a situation where we was talking to somebody who was crushing on them real hard, and then next day they had a girlfriend. Instead of dating one guy at a time and focusing on one guy at a time, I can date 3 or 4 guys at a time and kind of figure out what I like and don't like, and just kind of check off through them. And I also realized with me dating multiple people, it's kind of like making me like more aware of like my standards, and it makes me feel like I'm going to be less inclined to settle for somebody. When you're dating multiple people, you're thinking about the grand scheme of things and all different qualities you like out of each one. So when one, like for example, one guy that I was dating, I just didn't like how like unmotivated he was. So I feel like if I was just solely focused on him, I would have been focused on, let me try to motivate him. Whereas now I'm just like, you ain't motivated, and I got 3 other guys I like that I'm gonna just keep talking to. So I feel like it just helps you like cross off people you know you don't want to be with, because you're not focused on that one person and trying to focus on making that one situation where you have options to choose from. So I feel like you're getting a better chance of selecting the best person. One of the biggest things was how to meet guys. I prefer to meet guys like when I'm out and about, just so I can like get a vibe for him. So like one of the guys I'm talking to, I met him at one of our mutual friends, like we were having a gathering and I met him through that, and months later he DM'd me and we started talking. But I like that because I kind of had a feel for him and a vibe for him, so I'm not just like walking blind in the dark. Another guy I'm talking to, I actually met him in high school. We never talked at all, but now we're talking again, slid in the DMs type of situation. Out and about is where I prefer to meet people, just so I can have a kind of feel for their actual vibe, because I'm a big vibe person. Like, if the vibe ain't right, I ain't with it. Like, I'm a really big on like vibes and like an actual like non-physical connection. Like, that's what I really like to focus on. So social media is a good way to meet people. I don't use dating apps. I just don't like the idea of going on a dating app. I just feel like I don't know. I don't know why. Something about dating apps like freak me out. Like Tinder, my sister used Tinder, so I'm not like judging or nothing, but I just don't like the concept of Tinder. Plenty of Fish, I don't know. I went on there one time and I felt like it was a bunch of creeps and deleted my account that same day. Like, it was like they was like so thirsty and I was like, oh no, this ain't for me. Let me go back to what I've been doing and waiting for people to slide in my DM. Speaking of like sliding in DMs, let's talk about girls shooting their shots. Do I think that females should shoot their shot? Yeah, if you like the person, like, why not? Like, I don't think, and the way that I shoot my shot be like subtle things. Like, I'll go through and like an old picture, or I'll like comment under something or respond to something on their story, or comment on like a Facebook or something like that. That's how I shoot my shot. And I know that's not like, I think that was like a meme going around, like how females shoot their shot, and it was like they think about you. That's how they shoot their shot. But yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with women shooting their shot. Now, I personally wouldn't be the person to ask somebody to be in a relationship for me. I feel like that's the man's responsibility to propose marriage and commitments. But as far as like shooting your shot and getting to know a person, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Like, girl, you never know who might be looking at you, but they scared of you, and you just say something one day, that could be a soulmate. So I don't think there's anything wrong with women shooting their shot. Date ideas, my go-to thing is the movies. I love going to the movies. So I do a lot of dates to the movies. I like going out to eat. I've done like outdoor theater. That was super cute and romantic. I did that. Skating, bowling, arcades. I've gone hiking with guys. I've worked out with guys. I've did like little day trips with guys. Like to the beach or to the mountains, like just little stuff like that I think are cool dates, because I don't like I like going to the movies, and I'll do that more towards like after we're more like comfortable with each other. But in the beginning, I like to do like different things, and also things that don't cost a whole lot. Like going hiking don't cost no money. Like the mountains from where I live is like 45 minutes away. Just drive up there, go hiking. You got time to talk, but you're also like focused on the physical activity, so it's not super awkward. Things I don't like as far as dates, I don't like when men invite me over to like their homeboys. Like I have this guy that always hits me up, and I don't care if he see this or not. I have this guy that always hits me up asking me to come do X, Y, and Z with his homeboys, and I'm like, bruh, like no, like. That, to me, that's so weird. Like, every time he hit me up, he's like, oh, my boy's having a kickback. You want to come chill? Or, oh, me and the guys about to go to Boxcar, which is an arcade here. You want to come? And I'm like, why are you always constantly inviting me with you and the guys? And I think that guy's attractive, and I like him, but I don't like that. So I've never even gone out on a date with him, just for the simple fact that he always invites me to go do something that I don't want to do, and then with his homeboy. I don't think there's anything wrong with women paying on dates. Now, with the guys that I date, and through my experience, they don't like it. Like, I've had a couple guys that were comfortable with it, but most guys I date, like 90% of the guys I've ever dated, they don't like when women pay. But I also feel like, you know, it's not a man's 100% responsibility to take care of somebody financially. So things that I'll do is like, I'll make sure like when they pay, I'm like, oh, let me get the tip. Or we're going to the movies, I let him go ahead, he get the tickets, and I'm like, oh, I want some popcorn. Do you want anything? And just do it kind of that way, just to balance, and also to show like, you know, I'm interested the same way that you're interested. I'm dedicating my time and money to the situation the same way you're dedicating your time and money. I just like matching energy. Like I told you, I'm real big on vibes and energy, and I want to match energy and match vibes. So and I just also don't, I don't want a guy to ever say that he did X, Y, Z for me and and feel like I owe him anything. So I don't mind like exchanging and balancing out as far as should women pay and whatnot. How do you know if you're moving too fast or too slow? That's like a personal thing. Again, I am big on vibes and energies. For me personally, I typically move super slow, but I'm not gonna tell. There's no set standard with dating. Like, it's a case by case situation. You can't exactly dictate how fast, like at exactly 3 weeks we should be at this point. It doesn't work like that. that. You need to go based off your energy and your vibes. Always trust your energy and your vibes. If your energies and vibes ain't right, then it ain't right, like point blank period. Now if you feel like things are too good to be true, everything is good, I mean, I understand the hesitation with that, but as far as if you feel like this is flat out, I don't want to do it, I'm not at this point where I want to be kissing this man, or I'm not at the point where I want him over my house, or I don't want to have sex with him yet, don't feel pressured to do it. Like, I just let everything flow like organically. If I'm sitting there, he looking like he want to kiss me and I'm like then the kiss ain't going down. I'm gonna distance myself and make sure that's not happening. So yeah, that's pretty much it about pace. I lied. That's not pretty much it about pace. A lot of questions were coming up about like sex on the first date, and how long should you wait before you have sex. Again, I'm an energy person. I've never had any kind of energy with any man where I wanted to have sex with him on the first date. I need to have like a mental and emotional connection with a man before I'm having sex with him. So if you feel like you want to have sex with somebody on the first date, sis, do your thing. Because I'm that friend that encourage all my friends to do whole activities, but I'm in the back being a nun. I'm really, I don't know, I process sex differently, and I don't judge anybody for doing their thing. I look up to women who can just own their sexuality like that. As far as how long should you wait to have sex with somebody, again, big on energy. That's up to you. It really depends on the person and your motive. Like, if you out here just trying to have fun, do your thing. But if you're out here trying to settle down and be taken seriously and whatnot, then maybe you need to have a conversation before you decide to have sex with him, so you know that you're not wasting your time or wasting the body count, because you're out here trying to fall in love and whatnot. You have sex with somebody who out here who just trying to have fun. He having sex with multiple people, and now you just ended up being one on his starting lineup. So yeah, I'm gonna keep saying this over and over again. I'm just big on vibes and energy. Go off your own vibe and your energy. Do what you want to and be safe. That's my only thing. Be safe. Practice safe sex. So another thing that I was asked about was, how do I balance? Because if you're new to my channel, I am a full-time influencer. I also have a full-time job, and it does get hard trying to balance having my full-time job, being on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook full-time, doing content creation, trying to work out, because on top of that, I work out, making sure I'm feeding myself, making sure I'm also dedicating time with my girls, because I love my girls, and then also throwing in my family and a man into the situation. For me, what I did was I recently hired an editor, and that freed up a lot of my nights, because I would spend 3 to 4 hours after I had just got off work. Then I went to the gym. I had to make sure I've cooked or fed myself somehow. Then I'm sitting there. By the time I know it, it's 8, 9 o'clock. I need to dedicate 3 to 4 hours to editing the video, and it's like, where do I have time to date? That used to be a big issue for me, and it used to be a big issue for the guys I was dating, because they thought I was like playing. I'm like, no, like, I'm legitimately busy. Like, I'm tired. Sis is tired. Sis is me. Like, it was an issue. So hiring an editor has definitely relieved so much stress out of my life. I feel like over just the past like 2 or 3 weeks she's been editing videos, I've had so much time. My energy level has increased. My overall happiness has increased. The guys that I'm dating, like, are dating, I don't know, I don't want to say our relationships, but just our connections and stuff have increased, because I have more time to like go out with them. Like, we don't have to plan it, because I also don't like how I always have to be like, damn, I gotta plan it. So I'm like, if you want to see me next week, it gotta be on Wednesday at 8 o'clock, and I need to be back home by this time, because I hate doing that, and I used to have to do that, and I know I feel like it was annoying, and it felt like I wasn't interested, but that was literally my life. Oh, another thing I cut out was cooking. I don't cook anymore, and I miss cooking, and I like to cook, and I cook well, but I don't cook anymore. My dad's ex-wife, she does my meals for me every other week, and then on the weeks where she can't do it, I'll go through and I order either Freshly or Real Eats. Another thing that helped me with balancing was to get a physical calendar. I was putting stuff in my phone, but that wasn't working. Having like a physical calendar that I carry with me every day. I take that calendar is sitting right there, and I take it to work with me every day. I take it to my car. Like, having that physical calendar in my hand, and planning out all of my time, as far as, this is when I'm going to be working my full-time job. This is the night that I need to edit my video so that I can have this night free. Doing that has definitely helped too, as far as me finding a balance. And then they were saying, well, how do you juggle that many guys? It just comes naturally. I like them all, so just wanting to spend time with them is natural. Now, I do have a favorite, but sometimes that favorite changes from week to week, like who did what with me, or what kind of conversation did we have that day, and my favorite can flip-flop. Balancing your dating life and then your professional life and your family and whatnot can be a struggle. You just got to find a way to like cut things out. So I'm basically gonna wrap this video up with just a couple of like take-home tips, because y'all know I gotta leave y'all feeling ready for the world. Because there were people inboxing me saying they had like never been in a relationship before, or they never like had a guy date them seriously, and they didn't know what to do or what the issue was. Just some general tips for that. Make sure you are aware of yourself. If you're not aware of yourself, then people also are not aware of you. So like if you're walking around and you're like lost in this world, or you just not confident, or you just feel invisible, you're gonna be invisible to other people. Like what you feel on the inside projects externally. So make sure you know yourself and you're aware of yourself, because also the last thing you want to do is, when you start dating somebody and you're dating somebody to be with them and you're figuring out what they like and you're changing yourself to fix what you like, eventually your true self is going to come back. It may be, you might have a marriage and kids with this person, and 10 years later you find out, you know, I'm not being myself, I'm not happy, I don't know what it is. You have a midlife crisis and your true self wants to come out, but now you have this whole life that you built based on a facade. And I've seen that happen to several people, where they met a guy, they liked him so much, they kind of changed who they were to fit his mold, and then years later who they really were was like dying to come out, and they just were not happy. And it's like, just be yourself from the beginning. Also, be confident. Part of being yourself and knowing yourself is being confident by yourself. There will be years where I'll go through and I won't have a serious connection with anybody, and that's because I know myself, I know what I'm worth, and I know what I want and what I don't want in a man. So if I'm not getting it at the time, I don't want to be with somebody just for the sake of being with them. I want to date to find my equal. I want to be in a relationship to have an equal. I don't want to date or be in a relationship with somebody just to fill a void, just because I want to have a man because everybody else got a man. I'm completely fine with being, I was the only single friend for the past like 2 or 3 years. I've been the only single friend, and I'm completely fine with that, just because I know that when my time comes and when I do find the right person, that's gonna be my person. Like even if we don't get married or whatever, at the time, that's gonna be my person. I know I'm being myself. I know I'm confident in myself, and I also know that I'm confident and happy enough with myself to walk away from situations. So my advice for that is to know yourself and be yourself. And you may need therapy, you may just need some isolation time. Just figure out who you are so that you are comfortable and you're not hating yourself because you're not with somebody. I said all this just to say that I do not have all the answers. When people look at me and they say, oh, you just do this, you do that, how do you do this so confidently? It's because I have peace of mind knowing that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing when I'm supposed to be doing it. And when and if it happens to me, it'll happen. If it don't, at least I know that I ain't settling. I'd rather be by myself for the rest of my life than be settling for somebody raggedy ass nephew. So that's pretty much it. Let me know if you guys want a part 2, or what other like topics y'all want me to talk about. I know that some of you guys been asking me about traveling. Like, what's it like traveling? How do I save up money for traveling? And would I travel alone? And this is that and the third. So yeah. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.